Let's start off with the big one, of course. Manchester City to Arsenal 2. Is it too early to say that Arsenal have bottled the title yet again? 5 weeks
Yes.
in, is it too early?
No, not at all. You can make a prediction. I feel like Arsenal have bottled next year's trophy. That's the prediction I make.
Yeah.
That basis this results. But no, I thought what an excellently stupid game. I loved watching
It
every
was,
minute
yeah.
of it.
It was for the neutrals. It was like aliens versus predator. No matter what happens, we lose.
Or we
Uh,
win.
yeah, but no, it was actually genuinely a fantastic game, and full props to Arsenal because after going 1-0 down in the ninth minute, thanks to that man again, Erling Haaland, the fucker just cannot stop scoring, which is great because he's my captain in my FPL. So well done. Arsenal did manage to come back really well. A great goal from. Calafiori to open his Arsenal account on debut as well.
Amogh's compatriot.
My compatriots, Riccardo Calafiori. Uh, and then Gabriel getting a lovely header in to make it 2-1 as
I
well.
know Arsenal is just scoring corners like their penalties, man.
Yeah.
They've really made corners their thing. Like they just absolutely nail them.
Yeah. And that fighting spirit is there. And this looked like a team that was not afraid to go toe to toe with possibly the best team in Europe right now in their home. And you would think after last season that Arsenal are the only other team, and no disrespect to Liverpool, I'm being very, very serious here. Not Liverpool don't look like that team anymore now that
Yeah,
Klopp is gone.
yeah,
Arsenal do seem like the new rivals that Man City have, and there was no sense of, oh, we're going to play a different game. They played to their strengths at least as the game started. Of course, what
yeah.
happened later on in the second half was completely different. But let's go back to the first goal then, which was Calafiori's goal. Bit of controversy happening there.
So first goal was. Oh, you're saying okay. You're saying okay.
Arsenal's
Haaland's
goal.
goal.
Who cares about Haaland's
I
goal?
know. I mean, I do want to point out that do you think? Okay, of course, Savinho and Haaland were great in the link up to that goal. But do you think, say, Gabriel and Saliba could have done better?
I did think that
Right?
because
Like it didn't.
it just seems criminal that what is widely regarded, and by widely regarded I mean by Arsenal fans, to be the best centre half partnership in the Premier League this season between Saliba and Gabriel, gave Erling Haaland so much space between
Yeah,
them to run that channel. I thought that was really, really criminal. Now, the only alternative to that I can think of is that if either of those two defenders were very tight to Haaland, one touch would have taken them out of the game. If they keep that distance as they did, they had a little bit more chance of catching up and muscling him off the ball. But it just seemed like it was not the best type of defending that one would expect from those two centered defenders. And again, that's how, like, the margin for error is so small, right? Like, it's not like they're bad defenders. It's not like that one moment was typically outrageous defending. Like, it's not, bumbling Harry Maguire levels
yeah.
of defending. It's still, they did everything they could, but we're still
Oh,
here
the
trying to
bar
figure
is
out.
not that. And
I,
it's not even a bar for United. Like they've actually gotten better and they have improved.
they have
United,
improved.
I'm talking about.
Yes, yes,
So
and we'll get to that.
we'll get to that.
We'll get to that. But yeah, like that's how small the margins are. But enough said about that, because who gives a fuck about Haaland's goals? It's the same old story every fucking game. I was talking about Calafiori's goal because in the build up to that goal, it was Kyle Walker who was summoned by the referee, and
Yeah.
he was out of position when Arsenal played that pass to Gabriel Martinelli on the left flank, and Walker then had to make up a lot of space to run back and get into position, and that led to the goal. And he was obviously very, very furious about that.
Yeah. I rarely ever find myself agreeing with uh,
Man City.
City or Kyle Walker. But I feel like I feel like the referee probably gave him like 8 seconds. I think there was a gap of about 8 seconds maybe between the thing. But I feel like then you're expecting the player, to run back full sprint to his position and then continue sprinting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it's about you're expecting about 30 seconds of sprinting for the player, which I don't know. Like it, I feel like it's one of those things that I think the referee erred a little harshly on Kyle Walker.
Yeah.
where he gave him much lesser time than probably a player like he, and because he's also the captain, right? So he needs
Yeah.
to also send out instructions. Uh, he also needs to send out instructions, compose himself, check the formation. Uh, but I think the beauty of Calfiori's goal just made up for
Yeah.
any sense of injustice.
Yeah.
Because I have heard that Calfiori is a goal scoring defender, that he's known to be the he is supposed to be in a way Arsenal's answer to Trent, in that if Trent gives you assist, this guy actually scores the goals. Like,
Hmm.
so I thought, wow, like, because he got fully punished by Savino for showing a little bit of space, and I was like, oh my god, this guy is not ready for the Premier League.
Hmm.
So, and then I'm like, offensively, when he scored that goal, and I was like, oh my god, the Premier League's not ready for him. I was like, how have I felt both things?
Yeah. No, but he also a genuinely good looking defender. Like he's a proper Italian good looking defender. You know what I mean? But yeah, fantastic
Amog,
goal.
you would know better
I
now.
would I would know better. You know, like
You will know what a good-looking defender, Italian defender is.
no,
I
I'll tell you what the secret is. When you're growing up in my home country, so you
Yeah.
are you grow up on a diet of lovely olive oil and freshly
Mm.
baked bread, and that does make a big difference to your looks, as is scientifically proven. Don't
Yep.
quote me on that.
And
Uh,
you, as you do, you grew up idolizing Maldini,
yeah, but
while
doesn't
people like us grew
so
up.
doesn't Calafiori look a lot like Maldini? Like
He
doesn't
does,
he
he does.
look like the? And it's probably just because of the long hair and the hairband.
Yeah, that's it. That's enough. But that's enough to make a stereotype. Like,
And as a 90s kid who started watching European football in the late 90s, early 2000s, I am so happy that players are coming back with just the simple long hair and
yep,
hairband
yep, yep.
look.
They
Like
look like footballers
I
that
am
I know.
tired of this fucking Jack Grealish haircut. I'm tired of the the
I'm tired of the. I don't know if it's a stereotype, but I'm tired of the Arab boy haircut.
yes. Oh my god, yes. Like Gen Z footballers need to buck their game up. Calafiori looks like an absolute specimen, and that is
Yeah.
fucking amazing. But yes, just going back to that Kyle Walker decision by the referee, that was not the least of Arsenal's worries, because Arsenal fans were obviously very upset about refereeing in general. With Man City fans being upset about that one thing, but Arsenal fans overall, I think, were upset about the refereeing decisions. First case in point, of course, was the two yellows to Leandro Trossard. First yellow for tugging of the shirt, the second yellow for kicking the ball away. I thought that was really silly on Trossard's part. What do you think?
Yeah, because it's already happened to them. This is their second red card, or whatever, cumulative red card for such an incident. So
Yeah,
by now they should know,
yeah,
right? And I don't know what he was thinking. You're in such a good position because it forced that one stupid decision forced Arteta to go from mini Pep to mini Simeone.
yeah,
Like, like it really, and to make him play some in a style and formation, or even the players. I don't think Arsenal players are, or people who are naturally suited to play haram ball,
yeah,
who can play these dirty tactics, time wasting. It's actually it's like watching the rich kid in your class try and be street.
yeah,
Like, like the
yeah,
first time we start speaking Tapori language, you're like,
yeah.
bro, it's not for you.
I
Just
mean, the rich kid trying to be street is weird because they wear torn clothes from Balenciaga, and the
yeah.
actual street kids are like, bro, मेरे पास actually फटा हुआ कपड़ा है. ये क्या कर रहे हैं तुम लोग?
Yeah, it's like, oh, this weekend I recently heard a South Indian try to be like, "Arey, apan ka style," and I'm like, "Oh, bro, just back off." Like that to me was how watching Arsenal and the players play that dirty football that
Yeah,
like you will
but
expect.
on that, what do you think? Because they look, they were down to 10 men and they had to play a low block, like a very, very low block. Like that was the deepest
Yeah,
block there could have
yeah,
ever been.
yeah.
And it looked like they were going to get away with it, or they were going to,
I
use that to
did
their
it. Did it.
advantage. But we've seen Mourinho do that all his life. Like that has been the hallmark of Jose Mourinho's career, and everybody has lambasted him as, oh, he's such a fuck all manager. He's the master of the dark arts. But at the same time, when Arteta's doing it, oh, it's a tactical masterclass against Manchester City. What a guy! He's the
Which didn't
best
really
manager in
come
the world.
off. It didn't really.
exactly. Exactly. So just a little bit of a reality check for Arsenal fans over there. Like इतना भी कुछ तूफान नहीं किया है तुम लोग ने. Calm tits, please. But yeah, so it was really stupid that Trossard got himself in that position, and especially the second one when he's kicking the ball away, the whistle goes and he kicks the ball away. And he turns around and he looks like, but I was playing the ball. What did I do?
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're in the center circle. Tere aage koi nahi hai. What are you going to get by booting the ball high up in the air? You've
I-
heard the whistle. Just shut up and stop and look back. If you want to argue with the referee, do that. But you don't have to kick the ball away.
And what I don't understand is, okay, like, Premier League teams spend so much time in data and analytics. Correct? We all know this.
Yeah.
And at every level of the game. Right? And they're trying to find the small margins at every level. But they also know that you also can lose on small margins.
Yeah.
Right? How are they not coaching players pre-season when the rules of...
Yeah.
In fact, before any transfers happen, the rule changes happen.
Yeah.
Which means you have a good amount of time to prepare the players for the new rule changes,
Yeah.
right? Whether you get an extra yard
Yeah.
in the offside,
Yeah.
the line that they draw in VR, does it give you an extra half a foot?
Yeah.
Like how do you deal with this new
Yeah.
kicking the ball thing? What does it mean to be calm? Like
Yeah.
how are they not preparing for this? Like this seems like
By the way, this is a great new content stream for Fabrizio Romano, by the way. Like, new handball rule, here we go. But yeah, so yeah, they really should be doing that. Or either maybe they do and the players just don't give a fuck. Like they're not like football players, let's be honest, are not the smartest people around. Like if they were, then they would have regular jobs like us, like writers or whatever. But they're not.
you used writers as an example of a regular job.
I mean, compared to footballers, I think yes.
No.
है ना?
In fact,
नहीं, we don't have a regular job.
we in fact regular jobs have things that may help you make money.
Yeah.
That add to your self worth.
Yeah. I'm surprised that we have a job. I'm surprised we can
Yeah.
call it a job. Fair.
Exactly. In fact, if anything, footballers make money, get families, is that
Yeah.
all of that they get.
Yeah. But yes, so they almost did. Arsenal almost did get away with the dark arts, but it was that man, John Stones, in the 98th minute, after Kovacic's attempt on goal was blocked by, I think it was Gabriel. John Stones was there to put it in the net to secure a point for Pep Guardiola's side. And this was the second part of what pissed off Arsenal fans, because Erling Haaland, after the goal, picks up the ball from the net and smacks it against Gabriel's head, who was basically covering his head with his t-shirt, so he didn't realize who hit him, if anybody hit him. But it was really funny to see.
Yeah, it was. I swear I've done that when I was in school.
Yeah.
Like I remember doing something like this where
But did you get warned by the referee or cautioned by the referee?
Yep, I was threatened with punishment beyond the game, like beyond red card. My PT
100
teacher was like,
sit-ups.
he said, I will cut your marks in maths or something. And I'm like, yo, you don't have the jurisdiction
Yeah.
beyond this game. You can't threaten me with marks cutting in maths,
Yeah.
which by the way you can't do.
Yeah.
If I asked you to tally
Yeah.
my score, you would probably miss out marks. But yeah, so I don't know. That was very stupid. But I actually, in the way of events that happened, I think around the 96th minute, Arsenal have an attack,
Yeah.
right? Which I think, so Arsenal are clearly playing 5-4 or 6-3.
Yeah.
That's been their formation for the last 50 minutes.
Yeah.
But somehow at the 95th minute, I think Kai Havertz gets an idea where he's like, I will sprint.
Yeah.
I will sprint and I will try to push them. And I'm like, why? Because I think it's that sprint that tires him out.
Yeah.
If you notice, the last 2 minutes they're actually playing
Yeah.
10 versus 8.
Yeah.
And it's that extra man because it's that and Havertz is out and he sprints back much slower,
Yeah.
which gives Grealish more space. And Grealish with a lot of space, there's Doku. I'm like, man, you really set him up. If he didn't make that run, if he just stuck to the lowest of the low blocks, because
Yeah.
Arsenal didn't know how to stretch them.
Yeah.
Right, they were not.
And Arsenal were also losing the fight. Like they were running out of ideas. You could tell by the end of that game that they were like, we can't do this. They had almost, it looked like they had almost accepted defeat.
Sorry, both of us said Arsenal, but we mean City.
We mean City, yeah.
Sorry, yeah. Right, City had accepted defeat because they weren't able to stretch Arsenal, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
That Arsenal never got tempted. One Kai Havertz runs, He's slow, and you give, because if you look at the corner, right, that they finally took, I think until he enters the big D, there's no threat.
Yeah,
Like there's no one attacking him even, and then it's just like ping pong, pinball, and then John Stones
yeah,
sticks his foot out, because I thought that was where Arsenal lost it. They kept their cool for so long,
yeah,
and I think in the last 2 minutes, Havertz got some this thing where he's like, okay, I'll go attack them on that side, and
yeah.
then he lost it.
Yeah, Haaland was also under fire from Arsenal fans because he was caught in a bit of a melee with 17-year-old Arsenal debutant Miles Lewis Kelly, who was actually in the 65th minute booked by the referee before he even made his Premier League debut, because on the sidelines he was seen telling David Raya to take the ball and go down on the ground to waste time at every opportunity he had. And the referee caught that and went and gave him a yellow card. So he's become an instant fan favorite with the Arsenal fans. But when this whole Haaland hitting the ball on Gabriel's head happened, there was a little bit of melee, and Miles Lewis Kelly was also involved in that. And Haaland just looked at him and said, "Who the fuck are you?"
Yeah,
I mean,
and I think he went past Arteta being like, be
yeah,
humble," which I was like, I agree with the general message towards Arsenal and their fans
yeah,
that, hey,
yeah,
win something before you chat
yeah,
so much.
yeah,
But I was like saying that to the opposition coach, like, like
yeah. I
that's
mean,
not something.
that is pot calling the kettle very, very black.
But again, you also, as a fan of a team that's a rival to Arsenal, you also understand his
we,
core sentiment.
we're a rival to Arsenal. Thanks, man. Like, who would have thought that? But yeah,
Is that
no,
the
yeah,
you
it's true.
get the, hey man, be humble.
I do.
There's a reason why we don't get Arsenal fans on this podcast,
There,
because oh my god.
yeah. I
But
mean, we have got them 2 weeks in a row. A few weeks ago.
begrudgingly, reluctantly,
Yes,
as a
yes,
last resort.
yes.
But I thought him saying that to the rival coach, and then was a bit much.
Yeah.
A bit much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the rivalries or the arguments continued after the final whistle as well. Bernardo Silva had a lot of things to say about Arsenal, and he basically said that only one team came to win this game, and
Yeah.
he was asked about the battles between City and Arsenal and City and Liverpool. He said, the difference, I don't know. Maybe that Liverpool have already won a Premier League, Arsenal haven't. That Liverpool have won a Champions League, Arsenal haven't. Liverpool always faced us face to face to try and win the games. So, by this perspective, the games against Arsenal haven't been like the ones we have had against Liverpool. So, yes, maybe a different rivalry. Shots fucking fired.
Also, this is the guy, by the way, who tweeted from his official public account saying, Liverpool fans, go get a job or go read a book. This is the guy who, when they were forced to give a guard of honor to Liverpool,
Yeah.
did not clap.
Yeah.
This is that guy. This is the guy who has sang chants wishing death upon Liverpool fans, and this guy is now saying like, I miss the good old
Yeah.
days.
Hey, but
Wow.
at least they wanted to win, guys.
Do you know how pesky a team you have to be
Yeah.
for Bernardo Silva to praise Liverpool
Yeah.
as some sort of ideal rival?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah.
Fantastic.